the green design approach in green technologies, or the at the beginning. Today I would like to introduce that, then we can do the lessons parallelly. Otherwise, at the end, you will not have time to understand these concepts. So, if I started to give the lessons on these also, then you will have some more understanding with time, and we can have a discussion for the clarifications also. So, and also I can share some important reading materials and videos related to that, then you can start to look at within the leisure time. So then you can see, so we can cover all this within the time frame. Otherwise, you can see that with if we are going to talk about that at the end, then you will not have time to think about this approach also, because it is also very important aspect. So industrial green technology we discuss under the green technology, the green engineering principles. Also, you could observe some examples. Likewise, there are a lot of examples. So let's have a discussion on that also. Then you can see we can cover the topics very easily, and you can have a better learning experience. So, as I told you, today's topic is the introduction to sustainable built environment. So, I would like to give you an overview of the sustainable built environment and why it is needed at the present world. So, under this lesson, I would like to give you the basic components, and then we will have in detail, in renewable energy. So we have the introduction part, and then we'll discuss about the types of green technology with time, with different time slots. So I can allocate some time for the sustainable built environment also during the lesson, and weekly, and for the renewable energy technology also. Thereby, we can cover all parts on time. Okay? So, as you all know, so there are a lot of environmental issues that we have to face, and you can see nowadays also we experience a lot of disasters, mainly due to climate change and poor development and management activities. So you can see there are a lot of environmental issues, and their intensity and intensity and frequency is increasing day by day. So we have to have solutions for that. So green technological approaches is one of the best approaches. So in here you can see the when we consider the main environmental issues at the present world. So it includes climate change, overpopulation, ecosystems, and endangered species. You can see ecosystem degradation due to a lot of activities, and then due to deforestation, and you can see there are a lot of pollution, which include air pollution, water and ground soil pollution. And also you can see we experience some areas water scarcity, and sometimes due to this deforestation and ecosystem destructions, we lose biodiversity. And also you can see due to a lot of human activities, waste is generating, and this waste is not properly disposed, and then it also create a lot of environmental issues that include these environmental pollutions. And also you can see some of when we consider most of the cities, including in Sri Lanka, they are not properly designed and managed. So you can see due to unplanned urban urban development and poor urban development, you can see there are a lot of issues like So we have to have a proper drainage system, and we should be resilient with withstand all these sudden climatic change or the disaster. So you can see we are not actually resilient due to the poor management. One of the so the climate change and its impacts also there. However, we should be resilient and we have to have adaptation and adaptation methods to overcome those issues. However, you can see we are lack of that. So you can see it is one of the major issues in today's world. And also you can see due to all these factors, our public health is also challenged. So you can see due to flood conditions, and as a consequence, you may observe lot of health issues also. Likewise, you can see due to lot of issues due to pollution problems and all these issues, the public health also challenge, and that also so you can see due to all these activities, it's also under threat. So we have to have proper solution for that. And you can see in according to the World Economic Forum, according to their global risk report in 2020, so you can see these are the long-term risk they identify in related to environment. So you can see extreme weather conditions like today, nowadays, and you can see climate action failures, natural disasters, biodiversity loss, and human-made environmental disasters are the most or the first five environmental risk that we have to face in the future. And also you can see these are some of the technological issues, risk like data fraud and theft and cyber attacks. Those are the technological risks that we may have to face, and nowadays also we are facing. And also when we consider the societal issues, the water crisis is one of the key risks that we will be facing. And when we consider the geopolitical issues, so you can see the global governance failure can be happen, and it is happening. And when we consider the economic issues, the risk asset bubble is one of the key issues. So you can see all these, there are a lot of issues when we consider the economic, environmental, geopolitical, societies, and technology. So as you can see, when we consider the environmental issues, the gravity of the problem increases day by day. So we have to take action. So you can see for all these issues, one of the key approaches that we can adapt is green technological solution. And when we consider the cities or the urban development, so the construction industry is one of the key sector. So you can see it's involved from raw material extraction to transport, then installation, building and building use, and then after usage of these building, we have to demolish and destroy, and then we can sometimes recover some of the material. If we are not recovering, it will end up in the landfill. And likewise, you can see there's a cycle when we consider the construction industry, from raw material extraction to transportation, building, usage, and then demolition. And then you can see in each activity, in each life cycle. So you can see these are the processes in the life cycle. So in each activity, you can see there are a lot of effort, environmental efforts. So you can see this construction tech sector also is one of the key sectors in the development, social and economic development. So we have to consider how to reduce the impact. So the environmental impact. So you can see from each activity, from each step, there are some environmental, social, and health issues. So we have to think of how to reduce that. That is why this green construction sector or this uh, green architecture come into the picture. So you can see. So it is also very important in achieving the sustainability because it is one of the key component. And when we consider the urban infrastructure, you can see there are a lot of buildings. So high-rise buildings are located closely together, and it creates a lot of heat, and it creates the heat island effect. So let's see what is heat island effect with this small video. I hope you can see the YouTube screen. Can you? Can you see the YouTube screen? Okay, thank you. And then let's watch the video and then discuss about the heat island effect.
Urban heat islands affect human health and it affects energy consumption. Those two things alone are enough to drive worldwide interest.
When we build an urban area, we're replacing the vegetated surface and also the soil surface with this impervious surface like the paving material and the building material. By doing this, we're basically warming the urban areas, and this will generate a temperature difference, and that's we call the urban heat island. We find out that the urban heat island affected by several factors. The first factor will be the surrounding ecological context, and then will be the size of the city. We're talking about size, we mean both the area of the city and also the population size of the city. And then will be the shape of the city and also the development patterns of the city.
We used a variety of satellite data, both land surface temperature data from MODIS and also impervious surface data from the Landsat satellite. Impervious surface data essentially tells us how much building material is on the land surface in order to study the urban heat island. The urban heat island is much larger if you convert a forested area into an urban area, and this is because the urban heat island is a relative measure. So urban areas and forests are much warmer than the surrounding landscape than they are in deserts, for example, because the surrounding landscape is already warm. I think the general public should be interested in urban heat islands because of the fact that it's where most of the people live, and in the next 50 years we're going to see 80% of the global population living in cities. And the urban heat island matters for everything from health, like asthma and heart conditions, to how much heating and air conditioning you need to use to cool or heat your living space.
I hope now you can see my presentation slides. Can you? Okay, thank you. So I think you could get a better idea about what is heat island effect due to this concentration of buildings in the city area. So you can see the heat is accumulated due to various activities. You can see so during the so due to that it concentrate within this building area. Sometimes you can see there is a very narrow passage or the narrow space between the high-rise buildings. So within those narrow areas, the heat is accumulated without sending back. So and also you can see in cities we use a lot of vehicles and then a lot of heat generating activities also. Uh, it's affect and also due to the surfaces green so building surfaces they absorb some of the heat and then so you can see it stayed for a long time even in the night time also it's the, because it is absorbed by these buildings and surrounding and it's accumulated and it is not radiate back to the atmosphere very quickly and then it create heat pockets like island like thing so in commercial cities and urban residential structure and you can see those kind of heat island effects we can't observe in rural and suburban residential because they are they are not densely packed like urban structures and also you can see a lot of in most of the rural and suburban residential areas we can observe a lot of trees so you can see it trees plays a major role in reducing the heat in the atmosphere because due to carbon dioxide emission you know the now the global warming or greenhouse gas emissions create a lot of heat so those carbon dioxide absorbed by the trees and produce oxygen and thereby you can see that there's a cooling effect and also likewise you can see there is important of having green structures and we have to reduce this heat accumulate within the city and so it is very important in planning these cities and urban structures and also when we are designing and developing the buildings also we have to consider about how to reduce this heat accumulation within the building as well as around this surrounding. Thereby, we can reduce this effect. And you can see in this video also it says there are a lot of health, environmental issues, and you can see it's directly affect on the global warming, and consequently, you can see we experience a lot of negative impacts, including climate change. So those things can be overcome if we reduce or mitigate this heat island effect. So developing is very important. Developing green infrastructure is very important. In these videos, also highlight the importance of having green infrastructure so you can go through these videos leisurely and have a clear idea about that and when we consider the uh, built environment I told you that it is like a cycle so you can see it's include all these steps including extraction of raw material processing and manufacturing of raw material transportation, then construction and retrofitting, and then use and maintenance. After the usage, we have to sometimes demolish, and if we can't recover and reuse the material, we may have to dispose at landfills. And then you can see each and every activity, it's create waste. We use a lot of inputs, and also we create a lot of products, and then meanwhile we create some waste. So you can see earlier also we discussed that waste is actually not a waste, so it can be used by others if it is no needed. So, and also we can convert into different material and usable product. So similarly in here in the building life cycles also, you can see there are a lot of byproducts and waste generating in each step. So we can use those for recycling, or we can use as a raw material for other industries. Likewise, you can see we can improve improve the resource circular economy with this built environment. Thereby we can transform this built environment to sustainable level. So you can see in here, if we use this material and directly disposed into the environment, so it is like it is not the resource circulation. So in here we have to promote the resource circulation. Thereby we can say without disposing, if we try to reuse or recycle or recover the material, and then you can see in here, so we don't need to rely on the natural resources now. The one of the key environmental issue is when we are extracting and they over exploiting natural resource, it creates a lot of environmental problems. And then we have to think about the sustainability. That means we have to use all these resources better way, that we can optimize our usage, and also we have to keep these resources for our future generations also. So rely on rather than rely on natural resources, we can optimize the usage of reuse or recovered material. Thereby you can see we can improve the resource circular economy, and also you can see we don't need to rely on the sometimes the importation. Thereby we can save a lot of money. And also if we are going for the virgin material or natural resources, again we have to spend a lot of money for the extraction and then pre-processing. Those money we can save. Thereby you can see there are a lot of benefits of having this sustainable built environment by facilitating the resource circular economy. So it is very important to have, so we can easily transform this built environment with the sustainability with the different design approaches and maintenance. So you can see similarly in industries in here, also in the green building design, also we have to think of how to how to use this green engineering and green chemistry principles to improve the sustainability and to reduce the environmental impact. Thereby you can see it is very beneficial to all the component in when we consider the social aspects and the environmental aspects and economic aspects. So it will affect positively. Thereby we can achieve the sustainability. Do you have any questions? Is it clear? If you have any questions, please let me know. Okay. And now you can see the importance of having sustainability in the the building industry, also the construction industry. So you can see there are now, because of that, there are a lot of green engineering, green design approaches are applying in modern buildings and urban cities, and also early also during the green engineering principles lesson. So you could observe that how the ancient civilization used this green building and the green technological approach. So likewise, it is not a new thing, but now the attention to those sectors have been improved due to the now we are trying to find solutions for these growing environmental issues. So this is one of the main approach, because you can see in the urban cities, so these structures are one of the key component. So you can see when we consider the smart or green design, so there are some objectives to adapt practices that significantly reduce or eliminate the negative impact of the construction and operation of the building on the environmental and occupant in 5 broad areas. So you can see, and green design, it is aim to reduce or eliminate the negative impact of construction and operations of building on the environment and occupant in 5 broad areas. So these are the key areas we have to discuss. So under this, because these are the broad areas that they are trying to eliminate the or reduce the negative impacts. So sustainable site planning is, first of all, earlier also I mentioned the importance of planning. At the beginning we have to design, and we have to have proper approaches to achieve the green technology. So the design is very important, for that we can use. So each and every steps we can apply this green engineering and green chemistry principle. And also then you can see in the green design, the building components. So site planning is very important. So we have to have the sustainable site plan. And also water and water usage is one of the key features in the design or the architecture. So you can see we have to safeguard the water and water use efficiency. And also energy is one of the key input in the green building design. So in the building sector, so and the construction sector, so we have to improve the energy efficiency and the atmosphere. So you can see, and also we have to all these structures, they need materials and resources. So we have to focus on how to conserve the materials and resources. And also you can see, so we think about the site, water, energy, and the material usage and resources usage. And also you can see the air quality is one of the key component. And so we have to improve the environmental quality. Especially you can see the indoor air pollution. So there are a lot of causes on indoor and outdoor air pollution. So during this building design, we have to think of how to improve the indoor environmental quality. So you can see, so you have to keep in mind this these 5 broad areas. So I am going to talk about, so in here I am going to give you an introductory sessions about green building and sustainable building, and also you can see these are the key components that they are looking at. So I am going to have several sessions to discuss all these in detail. Okay, so then you will get a clear idea about that. So you have to keep in mind then what are these broad areas that they are working on. First of all, the planning is very important, sustainable site planning, and also they talk about safeguarding water and water efficiency, and the energy and the atmosphere, and also the conservation of materials and resources, and the indoor environmental quality. So you can see those are the 5 broad areas that they are working on. And so these are the objectives of, so they try to reduce or eliminate the negative impact of the construction and operation of building on the environment and occupant under these 5 areas. Then you can see with this sustainable site planning, urban also water and water efficiency, use efficiency, then energy efficiency, and while conserving of material and resources, and while improving this environment or the indoor air quality, we can get a lot of benefits. So let's see what are the benefits. So you can see when we consider the benefits, we can categorize into these 4 categories. Environment, there are a lot of environmental benefits, economic benefits, health and safety benefits, and the community benefits. So when we consider the environmental benefits, you can see we can reduce the impacts of natural resource consumption, because in here they try to conserve and conserve of materials and resources. So you can see they try to improve the energy efficiency, water efficiency, and also they are trying to plan the site sustainability. Thereby we can have a lot of environmental benefits, including the reduce of the impacts of the natural resource consumption, and also you can see we can improve the mm, economic benefits also, because we are trying to save some resources, and also try to improve the energy usage efficiency, water usage efficiency, sustainable planning. Thereby we can have a lot of economic benefits, and also you can see they try to improve the quality of the environment. Thereby you can see the health and safety. There are a lot of health and safety benefits, including enhance occupant comfort and health. And also you can see consequently there are some community benefits also, that include minimize strain on local infrastructure and improve the quality of life. Likewise, you can see there are a lot of benefits. So we can categorize them as environmental benefits, economic benefits, health and safety, and community benefits. And so that is, and also when we consider the productivity of industry, when we are applying these green building concept or green infrastructure concept, so you can see there, then we try to create proper environment or the quality environment for the indoor and the outdoor. Thereby you can see we can improve the comfort of the occupant. When we consider an industry, so the employees comfort can be improved, and then you can see so we are if we feel comfortable, then we naturally try to perform better. So because we don't need to think about how to reduce the temperature, how to cope with the uh, bad environmental conditions. So if the environment is pleasant and good in quality, so the occupant can perform better. Then they can focus on their work. Otherwise, they will try to reduce those bad impacts. So it takes time, and then they sometimes they get fed up. So while improving the environmental quality, we can consequently improve the occupant performance. So you can see significant improvement in national productivity in the US reported this was that, and also student performance in better in daylight school. So likewise, you can see the performance can be improved, and also you can see reduce absentees and turnover. You can see by providing healthy workplace, it's improved the employee satisfaction, and also it increased the retail shares with daylighting. So we can see studies shown that 40% improvement of retail sales. So you can see there are a lot of productivity benefits. So earlier I told you that there are, in here you can see these are the broad five areas they are working on to achieve smart of green design. So the sustainable site planning is one of the three components. So when we consider a project, so the building or anything like that, so we have to have projects for each activity. So the project planning is very important. Important, let's say when we are considering developing building, building or architectural. That means including the building and the surrounding area. So when we are developing a system like that, or installing or constructing a site like that, we have to have a proper plan. So the project planning is very important. So first of all, we have to think about the project owner's requirement, and also we have to appoint a project team. In here you can see now we are focusing on green and sustainability architecture. So we have to have an architect and green and sustainability consultants. Uh, Consultant directly report into the owner, because we have to have a agreement with the owners, because we have to cater to the owner's requirement. And also you can see in a project we should have like for example, for a construction project, they have to have project manager, quantity surveyor, engineer to the site, and also the consultants. Consultants also we have to have, and also we have to have a proper site that is suitable for our project, and also design process also very important. So at the planning process we have to understand the owner's requirement, because see they are the one who is investing the money on the project. So we have to cater to the owner's requirement, and we have to have a proper team with the qualifications, and also we have to have a suitable site for the project, and then we have to have a proper design. So the project planning is very important. When we consider the design consideration, we have to think about the building orientation, storm water quality, and the quantity control, because as I mentioned earlier, they mainly focus on the water and water use efficiency. And also you can see in the high or the large building or the high rise building, the heat island effect is one of the critical issues. So we have to think of how to reduce this heat island effect. And also you can see the light pollution reduction. So you can see we can, if the sunlight is adequately receiving. So during the daytime, we can use the direct sunlight instead of turn on the fan or the lights inside the building. So we have to have proper designs to take the maximum usage of these natural resources. And also you can see the landscaping is very important. So we have to have a proper water efficient landscaping, and also we have to have a proper wastewater treatment and rainwater harvesting and reusing. So thereby we can reduce the mm, potable water usage, and also you can see daylight and views for occupant and occupants occupied spaces. The spaces also we have to improve. Thereby you can see we can create a pleasant environment for the occupant, as well as we can reduce lot of money by having the water, energy, and resource efficiency. So, and we can reduce the usage of a lot of resources by optimizing the design on the design. So you can see there are a lot of benefits, and so for the designing during the designing process we have to consider all that. For that, as I mentioned earlier, we can employ that green engineering principles or green chemistry principle to improve the achieve the green technological approach. So, do you have any questions? So then I will talk about the green rating system. You can see there are a lot of standards now. The standards are being developed to rate these green systems, especially for the building system. There are different standards in different countries. So this green rating system is a set of performance standards used to certify the operations and maintenance of in the form of commercial or institutional buildings and residential buildings of all size, both public and private. So you can see these are the set of performance standards used to certify the operations and maintenance of in the form of commercial or institutional buildings and residential buildings of all size, both public and private. And there are green labeling system also. The green labeling refer to activities of product in line with skills known as the building purposes. We can utilize those eco labels or the eco labels. Then you can see the impacts of the production process from the all these product. It's try to reduce. Thereby they can get the certifications, like so. So those things, those kind of materials we can use for our construction purposes. Thereby also we can reduce the impact to the environment to we have to consider stages of the process. As I mentioned earlier, urban sustainability is very important to achieve, because now we are facing a lot of environmental issues. So we have to have a proper planning, and we have to develop the cities in as sustainable manner. So you can see these are some of the key features of the sustainable urban structure. Like you can see in here, equitable, engaged, and empowered community. So you can see when we consider the sustainability, there are three pillars like social, economical, and environmental. So all these. So if one sector is not keeping properly, every other factors are also affected. Likewise, so we have to have a balance. So we have to consider the social, environmental, and economic development. So thereby we can achieve the sustainability. So we have to improve the quality of the life of the people. For that, we have to have equitable, engaged, and empowered community. And also you can see we can develop smart, green, and climate neutral cities. So for that, this green engineering or green designing approach is very important. And also you can see we should have regenerative and prosperous urban economics. That also very important in achieving sustainability. So we have to have reduce the impacts and we have to improve the economy and the quality of the life. Thereby we can achieve this sustainability. And also you can see connected, healthy, and climate friendly lifestyle we have to have. Thereby only we can achieve the sustainability. So we have to think about all these components. And when we consider the building infrastructure, you can see, so one of the key component or key requirement is the energy. Energy in the building, so energy requirement is very high. So you can see for different purposes we should have. So however, we can under this green building concept, we should try to reduce and improve the energy um, reduce the energy usage, and also we should try to go for renewable energy. Thereby we can reduce the environmental impact, and also we can improve the energy usage efficiency. So you can see the building can be designed such a way that we can reduce the energy usage, and also we can use renewable energy, and also we can improve the energy usage efficiency. And also now there are buildings so that the net zero usage of energy is net zero from the other sources because they produce their energy within the building. So you can see they can use different approaches like renewable energy system, like solar panels, and also you can see the ground source heating. Those things also they can incorporate, and also you can see for the if we facilitate natural air coming and then going natural air circulations, thereby we can reduce the energy usage for that, and also we can improve. You can see the for the air conditioners, all that now there are a lot of developed instrument or the equipment with high energy efficiency. Those things we can include, and also you can see now there are concepts like smart house or the automation can be done, thereby we can reduce lot of energy usage. Likewise you can see we can do lot of different approaches the including going for renewable energy, and also to reduce the usage we can design the building according to that, and also you can see we can improve the energy efficiency. Likewise you can see we can have high performance windows and um, doors, and in here internal gains from people. So solar gains, likewise you can see free supply of fresh air, supply air. Likewise, you can see we can have a lot of things, so we will discuss in detail later. Okay, so in here I am trying to give you an overview. And also you can see in the sustainable city in cities, the transportation is one of the key factor that using energy. And you can see when we consider the private transportation, so only one or two or few people going with this private transportation. So however you can see the emissions is very high is the carbon dioxide emissions if we use fossil fuel. So you can see we have to develop one in the sustainable cities. The sustainable transportation is one of the key feature. Thereby you can see we can reduce a lot of energy emissions and also greenhouse gas emissions we can reduce. And also you can see we can have healthy lifestyle or the comfortable. So if it is very comfortable, people tend to use public transportation. However, in developing countries, you can see, including our countries, transportation is not in good condition. So then people don't like to travel. So if the people if the people uh, have community have their own vehicle, they like to use because of the poor conditions in the public transportation. However, if we have the improved transportation and systems that is comfortable for the community, they will like to use. Thereby, you can see we can reduce the energy usage. You can see due to the high concentration of these vehicles in the during the peak times. Also we can see create a lot of traffic, thereby we waste a lot of money, time and energy. So we can reduce all that, thereby we can reduce the impact to the environment, and then we can have a sustainable transportation. You can see it has a lot of benefits. So when we consider in developing sustainable cities, we have to consider in developing this transportation also and like a sustainable manner. And when we earlier also we discussed the linear economy versus circular economy. When we consider the linear economy, we just uh, extract the material and produce and usage and dispose, and without any usage we just dispose the waste. So that is the linear economy. However, when we consider the resource circular economy, as I mentioned earlier, we can circulate the resources. So you can see this waste actually not a waste, it is a resource if we properly use it. So in the resource circular economy, we try to circulate the resources within the circulate the resources back to the societies. Thereby you can see we don't need to rely on the natural resources. Thereby we can have a lot of benefits, and we don't need to have waste management system separately. You can see it has a lot of cost and resources involved. So that can be reduced. So we can integrate this resource waste into other products and processes. Thereby you can see we can improve their production efficiency and also impact. So it has a lot of benefits. So under this green building concept, so they try to improve this resource circular economy, it has a lot of benefits. So, and also you can see the research and development in all sectors is very important to have the solution. So in here, also in the building sector, the urban development sector, also there are a lot of issues, and sometimes there are some solutions and the research conducted and the output there. However, you can see there are research gaps also, and also we have to now in here also we discuss about that we have to develop material equipment that consume less energy. So and also you can see we can have a lot of alternative materials, so we can have a lot of green engineering applications for each and every step. So thereby this research and development is very important in this urban or the green building design sector also. So for those things, so these are some of the examples that we can do. So we can have alternative materials or then secondary materials, so we can reuse and we can develop processors to use the secondary material and water harvesting system, renewable energy system, and how to improve the resource usage, so we can improve the performance of these developed product and processes. Thereby you can we can have a lot of benefits. So the research and development is very important. Then do you have any questions? We'll try to mark the attendance. I hope you can see the QR code. Please mark your attendance. Okay. I hope now you can see my presentation screen. Can you? We discuss about the importance of having green building or the green infrastructure. Okay, thank you. And you could, I think you could get some idea about the basic component, and we will discuss about all these components in detail. Okay. Then let's talk about what is a green building. So the green buildings are high performance structures that also meet certain standards for reducing natural resource consumption. So this is the definition. So design and construction practices that significantly reduce. Well, this is the keyword. So the design and construction practices that significantly reduce or eliminate the negative impact of the building on the environment and its occupant with regards to site planning, safeguarding water use and water use efficiency. So you can see these are the earlier in the objectives also we can. So Dilshan asked a question of passive homes. What you mean by passive homes are kind of green practice. So any practice that we trying to reduce the environmental impact. In fact, is a green practice actually. So in here, in the green green technological approaches, we try to reduce the environmental impact. So in here, uh, Dilshan, are there? If these passive, so what do you mean by passive homes? For example, like if we try to reduce the energy usage, water efficiency, and also you can see we can have a lot of approaches. Yes, that can. So in here they try to. So see in YouTube they use alternative energy and materials and call it passive home. So that is you can see if they use all renewable energy materials, like you can see those are like green technological approaches. So that can be. So in here is it clear, Dilsha? So this is actually the green practice. They try to use alternative materials and energy. Then they try to reduce the if the environmental impact is low. So it is a green practice actually. So main idea is to reduce the environmental impact. Okay. So Dilshan, are you okay? Okay. Thank you. That's a very good question. So if others also have the question like that, please ask. Okay. So you can see that in the green building, when we consider the definition of the green building, you can see design and construction practices that significantly reduce or eliminate the negative impact of the building on the environment. So we try to reduce the negative. impact on the environment and its occupant with regards to site planning. So you can see those are the key objectives that we discussed earlier in designing of green building. So we should try to we have to have a sustainable site planning. So site planning safeguarding water use and water use efficiency and promoting energy efficiency and renewable energy, conserving material and resources, and promoting indoor environmental quality. So you can see all these key objectives or the key areas is included in the definition. So that is the proper definition for green building. So this is actually defined by the US Green Building Council. Likewise, you can see here in Sri Lanka also. Have you heard that we have also Green Building Council in Sri Lanka? Have you heard that? So I can share actually some of the. I think I share at the beginning the link also. They have a YouTube channel. Also, they have actually time to time they conduct webinars, very interesting webinars and information sessions. I will share some with you on the LMS. Then you can also join and sometimes they offer certificate and also they have some courses related to the green building mm, building professionals and likewise they have a lot of courses sometimes mm, paid courses also. So likewise they have a lot of knowledge dissemination training activities and also they provide certifications for the building in Sri Lanka and so we will discuss all this later and in here similarly in US also they have the Green Building Council. They define this green building as this, so you can see all the components they consider. And you can see the green building and sustainability of earlier we discussed the key pillars of sustainability. It includes social, environmental, and economic. So you can see through this green building, we can have a lot of environmental benefits, economic benefits, and social benefits. As we discussed earlier, when we consider the environmental benefits, we can protect the biodiversity and ecosystem. We can improve the air and water quality. We can reduce water waste streams and we can consume natural resources. Thereby, we can have a lot of environment benefit. And also, when we consider the economic benefits, we can reduce operating cost, create, expand, and shape markets for green product and services, and we can improve occupant productivity. And also, when we consider the social aspect, so in here also we can see a lot of benefits that include enhanced occupant comfort and health and heighten aesthetic qualities and minimize strains on local infrastructure and improve overall quality of life. Thereby, we can achieve the sustainability. So it is very important and very key component in the urban infrastructure and developing in cities in a sustainable manner. So through a number of high-tech and low-tech approach, green buildings are designed to meet several goals, as I mentioned earlier: reduce water use, material use, increase human health, intelligent use of space, working with nature, and integrate with the community. Thereby, we can achieve the sustainability. So, architectural design. So, the concept of focus on the components or element of a structure or system and unify them into the coherent and functional whole according to a particular approach in achieving the objectives under the given constraints and limitations. So architectural design focuses on a broad range of perspective, linking several common concerns, site and context, use and form, building methods and materials, and the role of architects and the context is considered in terms of pre-existing natural and constructed forms and sociological patterns of use. And architect is seen less as a sole creator of a completed building uh, than as a collaborator in shaping the physical environment. So you can see architectural design is also very important in sustainable cities, in achieving sustainable cities, because they consider all these factors. And when we consider the different types of habitable structural categories, you can see technologically advanced, modern and traditional vernacular structures we can found, and you can see low, medium, high and mega density structures, and also you can see residential, commercial, so entertainment, transport, school, hospital, or structures aimed at social or religious gatherings. So you can see for different purposes, we have different types of structures and architecture also different for that. And then let's see what is green architecture. So the green architecture or green design is an approach to building that minimize harmful effect on human health and environment. So the green architecture or designer attempt to safeguard air, water, and earth by choosing eco-friendly building materials and construction practices. So building and structure design philosophy that aim at minimal use of non-renewable or the polluting material and resources in construction and use of a facility, and the green architecture uses natural and reclaimed building materials as we discussed, then optimize natural light and integrate structures with the insulating earth. So you can see that thereby they try to minimize the harmful effect on the human health and the environment. So it is very important in sustainable cities and communities. So when we consider the different aspects of architecture or the green architecture, so these are sustainable development, eco-design, eco-friendly architecture, then the earth-friendly architecture, environmental architecture, natural architecture. So there are different aspects. However, ultimate objective is to reduce the impact on the environment and the human health. And sustainable design principles also optimize use of the suns. So in here in the green architecture, we try to optimize the use of sun, thereby we can reduce the energy usage and improve the indoor air quality. Then we don't need to worry about the purification inside. So we can have natural the like earlier we discussed passive home. So that may include the passive air circulation. Likewise, we can optimize and also responsible land use and create a high performance and moisture resistant houses and wise and innovative use of Earth's natural resources. So we can use the sustainable design principle to have the green architecture. In here you can see the aspect of a passive bioclimatic building design. So you can see they try to sound now in the green architecture. Green architecture we try to develop, try to reduce the environmental impact and the health impact. So you can see. So when we design it, we can consider all these like orientation. So we have to consider the ventilation, insulations to conserve the energy, then space to improve the quality of life inside. So building fabric, roof design also very important, thermal mass, building foam, glass in or windows also important. Then the landscape also window. You can see this in here. We can have different approaches for natural ventilation, and we can have different design to have the solar control, external gain, and ventilation, natural cooling, and you can see depending on our requirement we can improve the structure. So these are the things, the aspects that we have to consider in green building design. And in here also you can see some of the features of a green building. So we have to, so you can, I think you can remember the main objectives of this green building. So in here also in the definition, it's mentioned that reduce or eliminate the negative impact of the building on the environment and its occupant with regard to site planning. So we have to have a proper site planning, safeguarding water use and water use efficiency, promote energy usage and the energy use efficiency and the promoting energy efficiency and the renewable energy use, and then we have to conserve the materials and resources, and also we have to promote the indoor environmental quality. So in here you can see the features. So to achieve those features, so achieve those objectives, so these features have been incorporated. So like quite restriction of sunlight to, so they can now, earlier I told you that the effect of heat island. So we have to reduce the heat island effect, so you can have some green structure. So like trees in between, and then you can have restriction of sunlight to reduce the heat, and so also you can see we can improve the insulation, and also we can utilize this solar energy for heat, the energy electricity generations, and also you can have automatic ventilation system, then lighting control usage, natural lights like high efficient heating equipment, rainwater utilization system. Likewise, you can see we can incorporate different aspects to improve the quality of the green building to achieve the objective. So in here also you can see in this picture the main component of a green building that include green roof mounted solar PV, micro turbines, so cogeneration likewise. So we have to have proper energy generation system. Thereby we can reduce the rely on external energy resources, and also you can see passive daylighting strategy, thereby you can reduce the energy use, and triple glass windows to reduce solar heat gain, and stairways encourage walkability, thereby you can see we can improve the health of the people also, and by providing the mobility and the digital displays of real-time sustainability performance. Also you can include an open interface with public realm and building managers using. So you can see in here breakout spaces and wireless uh, connection to the cloud for remote management. So we can have, now you can see as a smart home, the whole building can be automated. So cellularized open and mobile space plan, indoor biodiversity, breakout species, wireless IP network, building managers. They using aggregated real-time data to optimize building performance. So you can see it's all these you can see all these components have different systems, so we can incorporate real time the monitoring system, thereby we can get real time data. Based on that we can optimize, so we can automate the performance if some problems arise, so we can clearly at that time, so we can correct it through this automated system, and the decision making can be taken efficiently. And also in here, earlier also we discussed the features of green architecture. So in here also it is mentioned some fields. So we have to select the optimal locations on land, and also we have to maximize sunlight, wind and natural sheltering, and also orientation of the building to maximize natural thermal comfort and via proper influx or shading of the sun rays. And also we have to allow for maximum possible air movement throughout the structures. And also we have to protect interior from the rain and moisture, and we have to maximize views where necessary. So these are the features of the green architecture. And ventilation system designed for efficient heating and cooling. So you can use louvers, windows and doors that allow natural ventilation. So in here we try to minimize external resources, so we can maximize the natural resources utilized like ventilation, and allow for central chimney where rising columns of hot air could escape. So thereby we can have the improved ventilation system. And also when we consider the energy efficient lighting and appliances, we can use LED or CFL light bulbs. You can see those LED bulb or CFL bulb. We can save the energy usage and energy saving fixes wherever necessary, and we can purchase appliances with better rating system for energy and ergonomically design interiors and furnitures that increase the efficiency and effectiveness. So that is also very important. So thereby we can improve the energy efficiency in lighting and appliances. And when we consider the water saving, we can reuse of sewage water as a fertilizer. We can develop fertilizers from this sewage, and also we can reuse of grey water for gardening or vehicle washing purposes. So we can install specific water saving plumbing and toilet fixes such as better manufactured tap or faucet settings like dual flush system, smart sensors where water activate through movement of the user. Likewise, we can have a lot of features that to minimize the wastage and maximize the resource usage. And also when we consider the green structures or architecture, landscape is very important. So the landscape plan to we can plan the landscape to maximum use of passive solar energy and a buffer for excessive light penetration in rooftop garden where the slab get shaded. So you can see this rooftop garden, then the slab gets shaded from the harsh sun and could generate more food items there, and also we can facilitate to generate more food items. And the wall gardens and hanging gardens also we can incorporate. And then ground cover with shade planting and wind screening also we can have, thereby we can improve the use of passive solar energy and a buffer for excessive light penetration through these approaches. And also we can we can do minimum harm to the habitat. So we should not try to harm the natural habitat. So we can see when we are developing a site or when we are planning, we can decide not to cut some trees or else. So through this green architecture, we can incorporate these existing features to the structure wherever it's possible. Thereby, we can use absolute minimal building footprint, and we can regrow the possible vegetation where locally be found, and we can provide and facilitate the combination of useful insects and wildlife, and you can see thereby we can reduce the harm to the natural habitat, and also we can use swage or the biowaste for generating biogas. Thereby we can utilize that energy for our usage within the building. And you can see there are different energy sources, renewable energy sources available based on the location. So we can use those: solar energy, wind energy, hydro energy, wave energy, tidal energy. Likewise, there are different type of energies, and also by burning fossilized remains of organisms such as fossil fuel. So geothermal energy, biomass energy. So there are different sources of energy. However, we have to think of the environmental impacts, and we have tried to reduce the cost and things. So thereby we can select appropriate energy source for our locations, and also we can use a lot of alternative power sources like use of solar panel on roof structures. We can install small scale wind turbine power generators where sufficient wind power exists, such as high elevation or coastal areas. We can use those, so depending on the locations we can decide. And also you can see we have to use non-toxic, non-synthetic materials or organic herbicides and pesticides such as marigold, garlic neem, and to spray, and also use of in, seeds or natural charcoal sand for water purifications. Likewise, we can replace synthetic material and toxic material by using those natural materials to do uh, these type of uh, activities. And also mud and cow dung mixture as the flow, and our top finish, and various tree sap as an adhesive, and tree sap as a color, various soils as color or texture. So thereby you can see earlier ancient architecture also used these materials to in different cases. So it is very important to use those to reduce the environmental impact. And also locally obtained building materials such as wood and stones, and we can eliminate long haul transportation. Thereby also we can reduce the emissions. So we can use locally harvested timber, various stones, so granite and finishes, and mud and clay from the site as a building material, and also locally harvested reed or bamboo for roofing material. Thereby we can reduce the long haul transportation, and we can utilize natural or available material within the area. And also we can have, you see in here they use a timber and timber plantation for the building structure. So however, responsibly harvested wood we have to use. So you can see we have to have sustainable timber plantation. So it should be harvested responsibility to sustainable use. And also efficient use of space also important in green architecture. So sticking to the standard and safety guideline and design using ergonomic fundamental, thereby we can improve the comfort of the occupant. And also we have to identify use underutilized areas such as under stairways, so, under the stairways and over the cupboards, roof attic spaces for various uses such as storage or even as a studio space or pantry spaces. Thereby we can maximize the spaces. And also we can use adaptive use of older building. Older houses can be converted into accommodation office buildings, and older barns, warehouse can be converted into service industry, business or household. And also we can use recycle architectural salvage like salvage building materials such as building stone, timber, roof tiles could be reused, and you can use salvage door and windows from other old buildings with frames as well as uh, timber posts. So thereby you can see we can maximize resource efficiency. And also we can use traditional construction know-how and methodology. So you can see in ancient times they have used a lot of sustainable approaches. Now some of the structures still remaining due to that, and you can see they are in good quality, and also try to reduce the impacts on the environment and humans. So in here you can see so timber journey knowledge in both supporting and roof structures and home furniture. So you can see there are traditional organic methodologies for timber preservation and traditional knowledge on methodologies such as vessel or door construction. So those things we can integrate with the modern technology, thereby we can have a lot of benefits. As I mentioned earlier, when we consider the building cycle, there are a lot of activities including planning, design, procurement, planning, design, construction, product, construction, energy supply, energy use. So in each activity there are different processes involved. So we can try to reduce in each impact on each activity. In fact, due to all these activities during the building life cycle. So every activity, every steps we have, we should try to reduce the impact. And there are a lot of barriers to green initiative like lack of political as well as economic will. Sometimes the initial cost is high, so due to lack of fund and sometimes due to lack of infrastructure, sometimes you can see the knowledge basis of the law. So lack of knowledgeable personnel is one of the key issues, and geographical features and the climatic conditions also we have to consider. So, and also inhabitant either not being informed properly or not being able to understand. Sometimes this concept can't be understood by the some of the communities, thereby it is difficult to convince. So the awareness and education also very important. So you can see the in and if like in all the technologies in here also there are some barriers for this green initiative. So we can overcome with proper activities. And also you can see there are green design tools like lead guidelines, and likewise there are a lot of guidelines and the local government standards and various publications and websites that promote green architecture as well as ecologically responsible building material and various energy consumption and waste generation evaluation tools and the product procure. So we can use those materials for the development. And also you can see like in green building there are a lot of benefits of green architecture like reduce building cost, reduce living cost, and improve sustainable living standards, and improve health benefit and reduce health related expenses. And you can see the less waste and these or no environmental pollution through excessive waste build-up and protection of traditional knowledge and culture. In here, you can see we encourage to use this knowledge, traditional knowledge and culture, and we can incorporate this culture and knowledge into this environment. Thereby, we can see we can have a lot of benefits, and also it reduce the environmental damage, and also due to all these, it reduce the carbon emission. Thereby, it reduce the carbon footprint. And you can see there are a lot of green building certifications and many programs available. So in here you can see these are some of the most commonly used use certifications. So in different countries they use different standards. So you can go through this website and get some idea. And in here in Sri Lanka, we have Green Building Council of Sri Lanka. Then they try to they consider all these factors for giving the certification. In here, you can see they consider about these when they are ratings. When we consider their rating system, they utilize these sustainable sites, water efficiency, energy and atmosphere, material and resources, and indoor air environment quality. So they give marks for these. So 88% is given for that, and the rest is for innovative and this innovation and design process, cultural awareness and management. So in here you can see depending on the points they get, they certified different levels. Like if the building want to get platinum, that is best version, so they should have 70 points or above, and gold certificate 60 to 69 point, and silver 50 to 59, and 40 to 49 for the just for the certification. So you can see depending on the level of improvement or the application of green building concept. So they use consider all these factors, and the marking, there's a marking scheme. They based on that they decide. And in here you can see they publish this green rating system for the built environment and published in 2015. And so they consider all these factors: management, sustainable sites, as I mentioned earlier, and the research and innovation, economy. So it is very important. So in here you can see those basic research, applied research, innovation. So that is very important in developing this sector also. And as I mentioned earlier, so in the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka, there are green certification, green city certification also. And earlier I told you there's a green building certification, and in here you can see there's a green city certification. So for that also they consider different factors like earlier. So it includes management, city space, and spatial structuring, preservation and protection of ecosystem, promoting sustainability in economic development. Likewise, you can see they consider these 11 factors in green city concept. And in here also you can see for the green city certification they consider these points to give the certification. So we have different levels like platinum, gold, silver, and just certificate. And in here you can see the green architecture also very helpful in disaster risk management also. So we have to develop resilient infrastructure for this disaster. So it is very important to have risk management and all these things we have to consider. So thereby we can reduce the disaster risk. So by applying these green architectural concept, we can reduce the disaster risk. And also you can see when we consider the green sustainable development goal is 17. We have 17 goals. So it's so you can see there are specific attention is given in different goals to achieve the world achieve the sustainable development in the building. So you can see in the goal 3, good health and well-being. Likewise, you can see there are different factors promote you in different goals. They gave high priority for these green building concepts because it is very important. As I mentioned earlier, so there are 4 goals. So these are when we consider the energy usage, and also you can see new paradigm for the built environment. So we can reduce all these issues with this green architecture. Thereby, we can improve the quality of the life. So you can see it is very important to achieve these green building concept. So because a paradigm needs to occur between built and natural environment. This includes rethinking what we built and how we built it, and if it is even necessary in the first place. So we should answer all that. So the urban built environment is responsible for 75% of annual global GHG emission or the greenhouse gas emission. So the building alone account for 39%. So you can see the contribution for the greenhouse gas emissions. So we should try to eliminate these emissions. So eliminate these emissions is the key to addressing climate change and meeting Paris climate agreement targets. So in order to heal our planets in the 21st century, we need to build less and conserve more and re-green our existing grey infrastructure. So you can see we can improve our existing infrastructure and convert into the green building. Thereby, we can reduce all these emissions. So it is very important because you can see the urban built environment is responsible for 75% of annual global GHG emission, and building alone account for 39%. So it is very important to have this green building concept. So in here I try to give you an overview of this green building and the sustainable built environment and architecture, and then we will discuss all these main aspects or the consideration in detail later. Okay.
Recording stopped.
So do you have any questions? Is it clear? Are you there? I assume that is clear. There is no questions. So thank you, and we'll meet next week. So I'll upload the recording and the lecture note.